Hello, everyone. On today's IRS tax refund update, we'll check in on the latest as we have an update from the IRS on the current status of processing and the growing backlog of unprocessed tax returns as a result. We'll also recap the latest tax refund batch scheduled for release this week by both direct deposit and paper checks. Then we'll take a look at those under audit and the movement we're seeing and what to expect if you're among the impacted group. And finally, we'll take a look at some of those recent notices being mailed out by the IRS. Now, recapping the latest update from the IRS, now showing 136 million tax returns have been processed out of 139 million filed this year, with an overall 97% processing rate compared to 96% at this point last year. So we're beginning to see a slight drop in the processing rate as the total backlog of unprocessed tax returns begins to rise. Overall, 86 million refunds have been issued so far this year versus 87 million at this point last year. So that is a drop, in fact, due to those tax returns filed also down this year. Now, we're waiting for the latest update on the exact tax return backlog of unprocessed tax returns, but at this point, that number is well over 4 million, which is made up of both tax returns filed this year and last year. For those of you still waiting on tax returns filed this year, and you're now among the 3 million who are waiting on their tax returns to be processed, and that number's up by over 600,000 in just the last week. So there are some growing signs of concerns, as the next several weeks will really tell us how these tax refund delays may last. Turning to the next round of tax refunds, as the next batch of direct deposit refunds is scheduled to be released and transmitted to banks on May 10th. Now, with Where's My Refund status results not always displaying the most up-to-date information, do check your tax transcripts and locate the 846 code to confirm you're part of this latest refund batch. If you are, while most will receive that direct deposit the day of, do allow up until May 15th for it to post to your bank account before initiating a payment trace with the IRS. If you selected to receive a paper check refund, and that applies to some of those also impacted by ID verification and amended tax return filers, the next round of paper checks is scheduled to be released by the IRS on May 12th. Now, while most will receive that check in the mail within 7 to 10 business days following that May 12th date, you will need to allow 30 days to receive that in the mail before initiating a payment trace if you've not received it. Turning to those IRS letters, one of the most commonly reported and received notices is a 60-day notice, also known as letter 2644C, as seen here. Now, there are different types of this notice. However, the one pictured here is one of the more commonly used notices, indicating the taxpayer will have to wait for the IRS for their tax information, account information to be available on their computer system. Now, this notice does not necessarily represent a problem with your tax return or even selection of audit, but it simply could be your part of the tax return backlog. Another commonly reported notice being received is the CP75 letter, which is an indicator you're under audit and need to submit to the IRS certain documentations to satisfy the audit. We're seeing those under audit who are claiming the earned income tax credit at the highest percentage of those receiving this notice. Now, if you're among the impacted group, all in all, this process could take several months to complete, depending on how the backlog continues to grow. Now, if the IRS has selected your tax return for further examination, this is what to expect on your tax transcripts after that is complete. Starting off the 421 code indicating examination is closed. You also see these 301 code indicating a reduced or removed prior tax, which will also display the same date listed as the closed examination code. Then you'll see the 971 code indicating a notice is being sent out, indicating the exam is closed. And finally, the 846 code, meaning the refund has been issued, and the display dates may differ. Several viewers who have filed paper tax returns have been asking about their delays, and we wanted to point out this picture we posted last year of rooms filled with unprocessed tax returns at one of the IRS processing centers. Paper tax returns are processed at a much slower rate because the IRS still does not use scanning technology, and an IRS employee must manually enter each tax return into the IRS computer system, resulting in additional time needed and also room for errors. At this point, there are well over 1 million unprocessed paper tax returns out there. Also, for those still not getting help by the IRS in regards to their issue, we continue to advise them to reach out to the Taxpayer Advocate Service for assistance, and it's worked for a number of our viewers. You can do so by over the phone or filling out Form 911. Also, there's confusion on how to contact the IRS, and you cannot reach them by the main IRS phone number. Instead, reach them at 1-877-777-4778 or online at taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov. Let us know in the comments section below about your ongoing tax refund issue. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.